você quiser rolar, procura um parceiro. Se você quiser treinar, procura um coach. Se você quiser aprender, procura um professor. Agora, se você quiser entender, chama o mestre. Chama o mestre. Chama o mestre.
So here we are, Rob. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. Now we are alive in a network, so it's going to be great. So the first thing I have to say to you is congratulations for the fantastic weekend you had with our team. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It was
I
something
mean,
special.
You are and a fantastic. Well,
Professor Rob, how are you?
Boa
I don't know
tarde.
what to do.
Boa tarde. Tell us, where are you talking from?
I'm this morning. I'm here in my living room, my kitchen. It's here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I was just discussing. It's 30 degrees Fahrenheit here to this morning.
Oh boy.
Which would be something close to 0 for you guys in Celsius.
Very nice.
Very cold. So, but I have a beautiful view of the Rocky Mountains, and I'm just here with you guys and spend some time talking about all of our favorite things.
Very
That's
nice.
you.
Very nice. How are you, grandfather?
I'm fantastic as ever.
You look amazing. You look great.
Yeah. You know, yeah. The point is that I feel so good that most of the people ask me all the time, but you are good. Yes, I have to be. On my age, my friend, if I'm not good, it's gonna be the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to feel good. I have to
Smile.
drive smile all the time.
Yes.
So
And you have a nice smile.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So, well, that's the Rob. Rob, we met each other more than 20 years ago,
Yes.
and yeah, you didn't hear it. And now you look a little bit different, as I am. I look too.
Yeah. It's starting to turn.
Little better.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Little better. Little better.
That's
Yeah.
right. That was an amazing day. I shouldn't say day, but the time in my jiu-jitsu life, my jiu-jitsu career in which I met you was an amazing time. And my experience with you, the first time that we met, is something that it's a story that I tell very often. Because it was such an impactful moment. It was such an impactful time in my life. It's something that I have great respect for, and I honor very, very deeply.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It was funny because at that time I remember you had a small place, a small gym.
Yeah.
In a garage. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I think most of the person, they start practicing jiu-jitsu or teaching jiu-jitsu in a garage. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's when it's tough and times are hard and you don't have a lot of money and a lot of resources, you go with what you can get and go forward.
That's yeah. But it was interesting because I remember that was not a big place like nowadays, because now you have your gym is a fantastic place. But one thing, Rob, that's a kind of experience that you have been facing most of your part of your jiu-jitsu life is that, for example, the pandemic just took some students away, but all the pictures that I see nowadays, it's incredible
Yes.
how many new persons coming. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
The pandemic changed my business, changed my school. It changed the landscape of our academy.
Mhm.
The target market that we were reaching prior to the pandemic were a different type of people, and
Mhm.
the demographic that we're reaching now today are a completely different demographic. I'm getting more recreational, more hobbyists, more people wanting to train for self-defense, for fitness, for a healthy lifestyle, versus fighting, versus competing, versus becoming a professional athlete, so to speak. Um, I have probably 90% of my academy now is just regular Joes that want to train and want to work hard and want to be challenged.
Yeah, that's great. That's a new profile, public
Yes,
profile.
yes,
That's
yes, yes.
interesting.
Years past, I would say the trend was more towards people trying to build a professional career with fighting, trying to compete professionally. So I'm enjoying my time now. I'm enjoying everything that we're doing. We're having amazing results with the work that we're doing here. And my team is stronger than it's ever been, ever. In 20 years, we've had a lot of people come and we've had a lot of people go. Uh, but one thing remains. I'm still here, and we are still
That's
here,
right.
working hard, training hard, doing what we've always done, and that's raise everyone up around us, and that's help others, and truly invest in our friendships and our time on the mat.
That's great. So it was very important that we dedicate, let's say, almost 80% of our time practicing developing self-defense because now people are looking for it. That's
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
This is interesting because many places, many academies around the world, they say the same. People are more focused on looking for self-defense, a better way of having more more say more fun and
Yeah.
to be happy. And for sure, this is based on and self-defense is based on self-confidence. So that's what people need now.
Sure.
Everyone, we
And
need that more than ever.
yeah,
Don't you think so?
I agree. I feel as though there's a strength in having a confident mind. There's a strength in having a strong heart, and I think everybody wants to have that in their lives at some point.
Well, it's interesting because Jan put it something here that oh, that's funny because they said Márcio Guimarães. Márcio Guimarães said, "Hello, Shimmy." This is not Shimmy, Márcio. Shimmy was 2 weeks ago.
That's
Oh
right.
boy, this is Rob
Hello,
Handley.
hello to all my friends worldwide, to all my friends in Brazil, to everyone in Europe. I'm happy to see all of you and talk today with you.
That's great, Rob, because here we have guys from everywhere. I have some
Good.
from Belgium, from
Grandfather.
Netherlands, from France. Oh boy, a lot of people. from
Shimi,
Puerto Rico.
Shimi's,
Yes.
Shimi's at the comments. That's why Marcinho say hello.
Ah, okay, that's right. Okay, okay, okay. So that's great. That's great. So I want to say to you guys that this gentleman in front of us is my friend, and I love him, and I love him as I love his family because since almost the beginning, every time I go to his city, Salt Lake City, oh, and I stay with him at his home. So I saw his son that now is 8. That's right, Rob? 8 or 9.
He's nine,
He's
nine
9
now.
already. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, and I remember him from the beginning. Now he's a big guy, big 9 years old, but you can't believe it's incredible. So
yes.
it's
He's
oh that's
41 kilos
oh man,
at 9 years old.
9 years old, boy.
Yeah, and he's almost as tall as I am.
Yeah. So this is great.
Yeah,
So this is something interesting, because most of my trips around the world, I met people that became my friend, and as we have here some of them, and this is amazing because this makes our life a little bit different because we absorb a lot of things like culture, like the different kind of a friendship because and meeting a lot of people. But Jim, I remember since the beginning how many persons I met, how many persons are practicing or not practicing jiu-jitsu anymore, and for sure it was great just meeting those persons. And but one thing is important. We were talking about self-defense, and we have been discussing a lot about self-defense. And self-defense is something that we have to adjust and adapt to, considering how human beings behave. So this is the most important part. Just not repeating what we see yesterday, but adjusting for today and for tomorrow. So I think that was the main way we have been practicing this and discussing. I remember many times we both discuss many different things because I think that's most of the person they don't know you personally, but Rob is a very strong guy. So when he gets you on a guillotine, man, pray, pray. So, but we had been discussing what's the way, how is the way that we can uh, uh, prevent not being choked by a strong person like him. So the first thing, he knows how to do it. This is a little bit different from a normal person. But another point is even as he knows it, what kind of a adjustment we have to do to be ready to defend ourselves. So this is important, and that
yeah.
was we have been discussing for many times.
Those conversations are some of my favorite, because we don't always agree.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
always
right.
agree, but you always give me time to discuss, and you always give me time to communicate with you, and it's okay. It's good.
Yeah,
It's
it
good.
is.
It's good to have an opinion. It's good to have a way of doing things. But I'm open. I'm always open to anything and everything that you share with me. And I really make a concerted effort to try to
Mhm.
see if that works for me. If it works, if I can do, okay, I will try 100%. And oftentimes, most of the time, you're absolutely right. And sometimes I might think about something on this side, but you might think about something on that side. And when I change my view, change my perspective, that's when I look at it from a different point of view.
That's
So I
right.
really enjoy those conversations. Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
I look forward to them.
Yeah, oh boy. I'll be back. I'll be back soon. But
Well,
be
good.
sure.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it
Yeah,
happen.
that's
Hey, the borders
great.
are open. The borders are
Yeah.
open now,
Yeah.
and you have your vaccination, right? So
Yes,
come
that's right.
on, let's go.
Yeah, but that's the way to finish.
What are you saying?
Yeah,
The
Ben,
cold
I
is
was
hard?
used to the hard winter
Yes,
in your
yes. Like I said,
place and out up there in Montana too, in Watertown. But now, oh boy, I'm getting old, so I have to be not
so
old,
wait,
but I'm getting
we'll need
used
to
to it.
find
My
you a
body
nice.
gets used. Huh?
We'll need to find you a nice place in Arizona where it's warm.
Oh boy, that's great. That's that's an amazing place to be.
Especially this
That's
time of
right.
year. This time of year,
Huh?
it's amazing.
Oh
It's
yeah,
real. Yeah.
yeah. So probably on summertime or probably springtime. Springtime is beautiful.
Oh,
So
I like that.
sometimes,
That's
yeah,
good.
I like that too. Yeah, so that's going to be fantastic. So let's see who is here. Oh boy, let's see. Oh man, come on, everyone that are with us now. If you want to make a question, but do it. The question directed to Rob, not to me.
Professor Marcos, he can hear. I have a new puppy in the house, and
Oh
he's
yeah.
commenting here. He can hear the dog crying in the background.
Oh
Poor
yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah. That's right.
I
Yeah.
had to put him in the kennel.
Yeah. And how about you? Did you have the one already?
Yeah, we have the second dog now in the house. Yeah,
Oh, oh, that
they got it the week before. So yeah,
this.
beautiful young, maybe 11 weeks, 12-week old Staffordshire Bull Terrier that came from Professor Marcos. Beautiful young dog, lots of energy.
Oh yeah. It's one of those black one.
Yeah, he has some brindle. But he's strong, very
Oh
strong
yeah.
already. Yeah,
Well,
very strong.
but you had another one. It's a lady. Huh?
Yes, I have a female.
Rain
Yeah.
Rain is amazing. It was
Yes.
funny because those kind of dogs, they are so gentle.
Yeah.
When, but you have to be careful because sometimes she wants to play, and she starts.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Very
So
active, very
yeah,
athletic, and
yeah.
very good dogs around the home.
Oh, that's yeah. I had one, and she lives it for 14, almost 50 years. That's not normal, but
A healthy
it was
life. Good.
amazing. Yeah, healthy.
Nice.
Now I have another one. It's a Dachshund Hund. It's a crazy dog. It's small. It's a sausage, crazy sausage that
Yeah.
moves everywhere, eats everything, bites everything. So it's so. But anyway, so I wanna have some questions from outside.
Huh?
Yeah, I wanna.
Can I
Yeah,
can I
come on.
can I quickly tell the story about how my first interaction with you went?
Yeah,
The
come on. Let's do it.
first time I met you.
Uh-huh.
Because it's an important story, and it's a story that I actually told this weekend at the competition, because my first the first time that we spoke was a moment in which was at a competition. It was at the World Championships in Rio at Tijuca Tennis Club.
Tijuca, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had been training with you for a few days, about a week before. But in the entire time that we were training, you never spoke to us. You never in English. In fact, I didn't even know that you spoke English. But we trained the whole week long, listening, trying to watch, trying to learn. And the day of the competition, I sat behind you in the seats. They're not seats; they're concrete stairs that you sit on.
Yeah.
And I sat behind you and Grandmaster Alvaro Bajet. No. Yes, it was Alvaro and Joe Alberto, and it was something amazing for me because I'd never seen men of jiu-jitsu in your rank all just sitting in front of me. And so I had Alvaro, I had Joe Alberto, I had Grandmaster, I had all of you guys sitting right in front of me. And I remember sitting behind you and I thought, gosh, I really wish that I could speak Portuguese and I wish I could talk to them right now. I have so many questions I want to ask these men. I have so many things I want to talk to them about. And the day went on. The day went on. I was on the mat. I had several fights in the open division. And in my final fight in the open division, I had a situation where I had scored some points, and the referee was very slow to awarding those points. And in the end, I lost. And I remember getting my things and walking off the mat. And as I stepped out of the boundaries of the training area, the warm-up area, I remember walking through the crowd of people, and I saw you walking right at me. And at the moment in which we passed each other, like, you stopped right in front of me, and you put your hand out on my shoulder, and you said, "I bet you never thought you'd have to fight this. You'd have to fight two people at the same time." In English. And I didn't hear it. I heard you speaking to me, but I didn't hear you speaking to me in English. I just kind of nodded like, oh, he's talking to me. Okay. And I went and I sat down. And then when I sat down, I realized, wait, he just spoke to me in English. Like, we just had a conversation and I didn't know, because it was loud and they were so loud and I could hardly hear anything. But when I sat down is when I realized what you had told me. I bet you never thought you'd have to fight two people at the same time. And I had never thought about that. I had never given that any concern. And then I realized, oh, he's talking about not only having to fight my opponent, but also having to fight the referee at the same time. Two people at the same time. So it made me feel better about that moment. But that moment is something that I cherish, and I tell people all the time when it comes to competition, it comes to fighting. And I use that every discussion that we have because of that experience. Because of my experience, I share that with my students and I share that with everyone around me. Because it's the truth. What you told me that day was the truth. And that echoes in everything else that we do. What happened on the competition floor that day was a result of me not being able to finish. 2, relying on the scores. 3, having to have someone work against me in that situation. And life is this way. Life is like this.
Exactly.
The things that we learn in jiu-jitsu echo in our life, in our lifetime. And things aren't always fair, and you don't always get what you think you should get, and you don't always get what you think your award should be awarded. And in that case, I was not awarded points in which I thought I had scored. So in the end, it was on me to finish the fight. As you always tell us, don't fight, just win. Yeah. And it was a great moment in my jiu-jitsu career. I'm very happy for that. I'm grateful for you for sharing that with me. I know that in that moment, you didn't think that it would have such an impact, but in that moment, that changed the trajectory of my life and my jiu-jitsu forever. Sometimes as a coach, sometimes as an instructor, sometimes as a professor, you don't realize how much impact you have on other people's lives until the moment in which something like that happens.
Yeah, this is because that's one of the reasons, Rob, that I stopped going for tournaments, because I cannot see my student, I cannot see a friend of mine being fighting against two persons. So that's one of the main reasons that I stopped going. I remember the last one was on the World's Master Seniors. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that you fought.
I fought that year. Professor Marcio fought that year.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember. We had a big team.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And but so that was the last one. And I like to be among friends and among the students, but I cannot handle, okay, my emotions go so with so much pressure.
Yeah.
That, I wish I could be in there.
Yeah. Yes,
Anyway,
that's right.
Yeah, but anyway, but well, we had a question here. Let me see if I can find, because let's see. Oh, that's it. Rose Academy. That's from Pierre from Belgium. Also, I'd like to know how you proceed with the brand. You let them go or not? Oh, this is interesting, because this is a kind of a question that everybody is putting on now.
Yeah.
About a new student coming in the academy, and on the first or second day start rolling. People are asking if it is correct or not. What is your opinion, Rob?
Well, which question do you want me to answer first? The MMA one or the jiu-jitsu one?
Jiu-jitsu one.
Okay. Proceeding with the white belt. Do I let them roll or not at all? I actually leave that up to them. So I have 2 classes that I teach a week, 2 different formats. One in which we work on fundamentals, we work on basic techniques, and it's more of a drilling session, instructional session, than it is anything else. So people will come to the class and learn to do jiu-jitsu techniques as we do normally, and that's what the class consists of. Maybe some light drilling, maybe some offense defense stuff, but oftentimes it's just about technique development and skill development and learning jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And then I have another class in which it's more of a mixed levels class, and it's a class where I have everything from white belts to black belts. And in that class, there's a 15-minute warm up. There's a 45 minutes of technique and drilling, and 30 minutes of sparring every day, every class. And the ones that want to participate in it can. The ones that don't want to participate don't have to. Of course, I'm going to encourage people to train, because that's kind of what brings most people to the table, is learning how to actually do jiu-jitsu against a live resisting opponent. I know that there are some schools out there that don't let people roll at all until they're a certain rank or a certain skill level. And that's okay too. It's not my way, but it's okay. I understand. I know where they're coming from. They want to protect people. They want to stop them from getting injured. They want to stop them from getting hurt. But I think that relies on the individual. And my culture in my academy is one that we allow everyone to train with everyone, and with the intention of protecting each other, helping each other, helping each other get better, growing as a team, getting everyone up to speed as quickly as possible. And so I have white belts that jump right in, and they're all in from day one. And then I have white belts who come to my fundamentals class, my beginner class, and they take their time and they train when they're comfortable, when they're ready.
But they have this kind of option.
Yeah.
They come for the beginners class to learn the fundamentals and all the things. That's amazing. That's important.
I felt like I never wanted to cap someone's experience. You can do this, but you can't do that. Or you can do this, but you can't do that. I always wanted to encourage people to do more. So if somebody wanted to train more, I'm going to encourage that, instead of saying, no, stop, you can only come to these 2 classes a week. If someone wants to do it, I'm going to support them. If someone wants to work harder, I'm going to support them. If people want to train more, I'm going to support them. And then if people are like, hey, I'm going to come to the beginner class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm going to come to the mixed levels class on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay, no problem. That's a choice and a decision that person has to make. Now, it might not be favorable. It might not be popular. It might not be what everyone else is doing, but this is what I'm doing. And this is what I have felt comfortable with and I enjoy. And after 20 years, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that. I'm sure. Sure.
Pierre also had a question about MMA fighters in the school, right? So I have had MMA fighters fighting at every level of the sport, from the lowest level, meaning the entry level, all the way to fighters fighting in the UFC. And I have a curriculum that I use based on striking, based on wrestling, based on jiu-jitsu. And it's a mixture of all those things, but I don't necessarily teach them until I feel like they are able to defend themselves. So if someone's doing jiu-jitsu, I want to make sure that they can protect themselves. They need to be able to defend themselves. They need to be able to escape bad positions and know what an arm lock is, know what a choke is, know what a triangle is. And the same thing goes for standing techniques. Yes, you can punch. Yes, you can kick, but can you defend? Can you block? Can you cover? Can you evade? Can you move to protect yourself? Because ultimately, in the end, as a coach, the last thing that I want to see is I want to see people get hurt. I don't want to ever see people get hurt. It's the risk that we take. It's the risk that we take participating in the sports of fighting. However, it's not necessarily what I want to happen. So it's important for me to know that whether an athlete is a jiu-jitsu fighter or a Muay Thai fighter, or it doesn't matter, and they need to know how to defend themselves. And then from there, that's when we really turn on the gas, and then we go forward. We really work hard at that point. And
but the people must know, Rob, that you had for many years a lot of top MMA fighters in the youth. You were coaching them, teaching them, preparing them. And I remember one day you said to me, man, I'm dedicating my life to do this kind of thing. But sometimes I'm out of home, away from my family so many times, so long times, that I have to think about that.
Yeah, that's right. Traveling and having a big team and having a successful academy requires a lot of travel and requires a lot of time away from home. And I have my wife, my son's now 9, and I'm getting to spend more and more time with them now than ever before.
That's great. That's great. We must do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, anytime if you have any question, if you want to talk and chat about that, I'm more than happy to answer any question at any time. It's something that I spent a lot of time developing and a lot of effort over the last 20 years, and would be happy to share that with you or anyone else.
oh, that's great. That's great. This is Rob. Rob, I know this guy. Rob,
That's how we roll.
there's
That's how we do it.
that's it.
Build everybody up around you. Make everybody better.
That's the point. That's it. But next year, hey Pierre, be ready because next year, November next year, we are gonna be running a fantastic meeting in Brazil. It's gonna be in Rio de Janeiro,
Yes,
November.
I'm excited.
Yes, but be ready. And but
It's been a few years since I've been to Brazil, so I'm ready.
yeah, that's right. That's right. But the last time was 4 years ago. Pierre couldn't come because he forgot one basic things. He didn't have a passport. He went to the airport with his ID. Oh, Pierre, come on! But this time next year, be ready. Prepare yourself. Prepare your passport, and come. That we're gonna be having something amazing. So it's gonna be in a charming place called Rio de Janeiro. It's gonna be great.
Good. You know, I was just yesterday. I was discussing because people ask me. You know, I come from a generation in jiu-jitsu that was very early in the United States, 1993, and jiu-jitsu was very small back then. There was not many people training.
Mhm.
And I was telling them, I said, okay, you guys, imagine, you know, jiu-jitsu's everywhere. Jiu-jitsu's in every country. It's in every county. It's in every state. It's in every city. It's everywhere. You can't go anywhere in the world without finding some jiu-jitsu somewhere. But can you imagine Grandmaster when in his time in the 1950s? In the 1950s, jiu-jitsu was basically in one single neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro at the time.
That's right.
In Copacabana, right? Copacabana was where
no, the first one,
the business district.
No, the first one in the 50s were in downtown Rio de Janeiro downtown. That was a Gracie one, and
Professor.
Sir.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
I have a question.
Yeah. Let's chat.
My question is, what for you is self-confidence? How you define self-confidence in jiu-jitsu?
Self-confidence? Self-confidence as an action?
Confidence. Self-control. Sorry, self-control.
Self-control, the ability to apply pressure, control.
Yeah.
Physically control, self-control.
Well, emotionally and physically.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, you see, yeah, we've had many of these discussions.
Yeah,
This is something that falls back on the three P's. Yeah, something similar. The way that you use self-control in jiu-jitsu is the same way you use self-control in your life, right? Your ability to handle pressure, right? The ability to apply pressure, and also how to handle those things in your life. In jiu-jitsu, self-control is not just an action, but it's a way that you treat with someone else. Yeah, to apply enough pressure, but not too much. That's that is a moment in which you have to have extreme self-control, because if you're a person without self-control, that someone gets hurt.
that's right. You're right. You're right, Ron.
I
That's great.
have a great teacher. I have a great teacher
Oh boy.
that shared many conversations on these moments, on these times.
Yeah, Rob, it's one thing that I think that most of the person they don't know about it because I never said anything about, and I believe that you too. So the point is that how many hours we we discuss about a lot of thousands different subjects.
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
great
Not just subjects, but cultures,
cultures.
languages, religions, people of all places in the world. Yeah, thousand.
That's
Man,
it.
that would
That's
be
it.
hard. That would be hard to put a number on that moment, on how much we've discussed those things.
Yeah. Many times we were you were driving, we were going for some place, and
Yeah,
you just put your hand and say, "Okay, come on, we are let's discuss. Let's say something." And
yeah,
there are many times I just start talking. You recorded all the thing. Oh man,
yep. I was very fortunate to have the ability to have those conversations with you, and to be able to document and record a lot of those conversations. Um, the technology today has given us the ability to do things like that, so simple, so easy, as we're doing today, as we're speaking today, and we're talking with each other, and this is oftentimes my view as I look into my computer. I'm talking to you as you are sitting across the table from me on every day.
yeah, that's right, that's right. And but as you have so many hours recorded with our
Mm,
conversations,
yeah.
what do you plan to do with that someday? What
So,
kind of
yeah, originally those thoughts and those discussions and all those conversations originally were meant to document your life, your time in jujitsu, your time over time, to create a book that would educate others, that would help others learn more about your methodology, your philosophy, the way that you view things, but less of like a book about how to do jujitsu, but more about how jujitsu affects your life and how jujitsu is important, in this sense. Self-control, like we just talked about. How does it apply? How do the three P's apply to your life? Not how do they apply to jujitsu, and how do they apply to your life? Uh, there's a lot of those conversations that, wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom in those conversations that everyone should know and everyone should hear, because it's something that happens beyond the mat, beyond the academy. And I think in today's jujitsu, a lot of people are missing that connection to the martial arts, and to Bushido, so to speak, um, in jiu-jitsu because it's become such a sport-related event, a sport-related thing. Not everyone is interested in the martial arts, but most are interested in competing, and most are competing in a sport. So sometimes those things are not discussed.
That's it. And we had some fantastic experience together. I remember one time we went to fish. Fly fishing. Remember that? Oh man, it was amazing.
Oh,
It was
amazing.
yeah,
What was
amazing.
amazing about that story was the moment that I watched it happen in your eyes. I watched it happen live. I watched you go through that at that time in your life and at that age, to still witness someone learning, someone seeing jujitsu in their life. It was. Do you want to tell a story? You want me to tell a story?
Which one? Which one?
The fish story.
A fish story. Come on, do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I took Grandmaster fly fishing with a friend of mine who was a fishing guide. And it was the first time for me, and it was the first time for him. And we got in the river, and we were fishing or putting our lines out there, and Grandmaster hits a fish. He pops it, and he starts to reel it in. And as it gets closer to him, right? There's a process. There's a process in which you should take the fish from the water. There's a process in which that you should handle the fish with care. But I didn't know this, and Grandmaster didn't know this either. And so when our guide said, "Hey, reach down there and pick up this fish," Grandmaster did exactly what the guy said. He reached down and he grabbed it on top, and he went to pick it up. And the guide said, "No. What I want you to do is I want you to take your hand, and I want you to put your hand under the fish. And I want you to keep your hand under its belly, and I want you to gently bring the fish out of the water and just let it sit in the palm of your hand." And sure enough, Grandmaster reached down and he reached underneath the fish, and he lifted it up, and he held it there. And he held it there for a minute. And that's when I saw it going through his mind. He's processing this. He's learning from this. And then he takes the fish and he puts the fish back in the water, in the net, and he kind of lets it go, and the fish goes. And he turns and he looks at me, and he said, "Rob, that's exactly like jiu-jitsu. That moment that I naturally wanted to reach and grab that fish is the moment in which I needed to use a different technique. It's a different technique. I didn't need to grab it and squeeze it, but that's what I felt that I needed to do. What I needed to do was to go underneath and hold the fish in the water and gently raise the fish out of the water." And he said, "Jiu-jitsu is like this. Not always is the grip that you think that you need when you grab something and you squeeze and you hold it the right one. That moment is the moment in which you need to use a different grip or something more gentle to get the same job done with the same efficiency." And that moment was worth everything, because that was the moment that I saw my teacher, I saw my instructor, I saw Grandmaster process that in his own head in that moment live. It was incredible.
It was a fantastic lesson for me, Rob.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic lesson. Yeah, because I remember that as the moment I put the fish back in the water, something happened. The fish stood on my hand for a while.
Yep.
So being gentle changed everything.
Yeah.
My relation with that fish, we met each other instead of I heard I did something bad on him.
Yeah.
As I was doing in the beginning.
And that's what the guide said. The guide said, No, don't grab him like that because you'll break his spine. You'll hurt the fish. So the grandmaster put the fish back down, got underneath it, and man, jiu-jitsu is like this. I'll never forget it.
Oh boy, that was
Like this. What an experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, Rob, because people think that we got to learn how to fight over in a dojo.
Yeah.
No, you got to learn how to fight in life every day, every time,
That's
every
right.
single moment that you have facing something.
Yeah.
When you move yourself from your bed in the morning, you start fighting. So this is be gentle. That's the first step. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle if think positively instead of just saying, "Oh boy, today is raining." No, today is raining fantastic. It's going to help us. It's going to give us some more energy. So things like that. So this is that that simple moment for me was something that opened my mind for a lot of different things. Yeah, oh man. That's
It
it.
just gave me the chills. Holy
Oh
cow.
boy.
Man.
Yeah, oh man. That
But
was great.
it was such an impactful moment. I remember the sun. I remember the trees. I remember the sound of the water. I remember the warmth from the sun standing there in the water, having the water rush down because we were standing in a river.
It was on the Provo River, that right?
Yeah, it was very impactful, very, very impactful moment. And I have dozens and dozens of these stories to tell.
Oh,
so that just is one of them.
As a Rob, I'll tell people, for example, the Provo River. At that moment, we were fishing, but it was, I think, it was a springtime, something like that. And the water was cold.
Yep.
We are wearing some special clothes to be in the water most of the time.
Yes.
And the sun was hurting us.
Yeah.
It was so strong. I remember I had to put a cap and I put a handkerchief on the back here because otherwise it was going to burn my neck, behind my neck. So, oh man, it was amazing. And the water was so clean, so that was we may say that was a divine moment.
For sure. I mean, the impact that it had in your life, the impact it had in my life, and that I got to see that live and understand the process by watching you was amazing. Truly amazing.
Yeah, and fishing that way is amazing because I couldn't. At that time, I used to eat fish.
Yeah.
But there are some years that I left eating fish, so I couldn't do it. I could do that just to start a new relation with another being.
Yeah.
See, but not just fish to eat because I couldn't do that. Yeah. But it was amazing. Just because some person goes there for fun.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that on the beginning we were going to have some fun, but there were so many things that happened before and after that moment was absolutely incredible because we had to go to a place to get a license.
Yeah.
Remember? And we had to drive hours to be there.
Yeah. That's right.
And we have to have a guide, especially the person tells us how to do it. So it's for him was just another day teaching people how to do it. But for me, it was a day that I was learning a lot of things about life.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think if your mind is open to those experiences, and if your mind is thought, if you are thoughtful and mindful of those things, those experiences happen, and they happen often in your life. But you have to be ready for them. You have to be looking for them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So let's see, for us to end our day here, we have a question. This guy is from Netherlands. It's and what did Jiu-Jitsu change in your life? Was let me see.
The biggest
Yeah,
challenge in BJJ for me,
yeah,
Didotsu
yeah.
BJJ. Where's that?
Yeah.
Where's that?
He's from Netherlands.
Okay, awesome. The biggest challenge for me in jujitsu. Um, I'm a person who likes to stay up to date, if that's a good word. I'm trying to not only uh, concentrate on the past, the present, but I'm also looking at the future. And so keeping up with the trends and what's popular and what's happening right now is important to me. Knowing not only what jujitsu looked like in the past, what jujitsu has looked like when I started, and what jujitsu currently looks like, the landscape of jujitsu. So I think that's a big challenge, and not everybody wants to do it. Not everybody wants to keep up to date, but I'm trying to do my best, because it's something that I really enjoy and I love, and it's something that I'm trying to be better at and try to understand more. And this is just echoes in my life. I'm trying to do that in my life too. I'm trying to better myself in everything that I do. So the most difficult thing is keeping up with what else is out there, not just holding on to what I have. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And as I'm with you, um, about 20 years, so I know you. I know so many goals that you did in your life. So it's great.
I'm
Yeah.
home again.
Oh,
Yes,
you're at home.
Ian, I was looking forward to talking with you, and I was looking forward to talking with Master Silvio, and but thank you so much for the opportunity and the time, and allowing me to spend some extra time with the Grandmaster,
Oh,
chatting
thank
about
you.
our favorite things. So
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you very
Yes.
much. I
so,
was hearing everything. I was in the car.
yeah,
My son, we took my son to the hospital. He's okay. He's fine. But kid, kid have to go to the hospital every time in the life.
yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, thank you to all the instructors who are watching and the people who are watching and asking questions and in the comments. I see all of you
Yes.
guys, and I look forward to spending some time with each of you at some point, hopefully in Rio in November.
Yeah.
But who knows?
yeah,
I might just show up in Europe one of these days.
Oh, come on.
Visit.
I mean, you this you were always not just welcome, but there is something that's very special on every time we meet each other.
Yes, I agree.
So thank you, Rob. Thank you a
we
lot.
we could see this
It
today.
was a great time being with you. And,
We could see this
Anytime,
today.
anytime. If you guys ever want to talk more, if you ever want to share more, please let me know. I'm happy to assist. I'm happy to be involved. Happy to represent the Behring family. It's something that I hold with great honor and great respect, and I have been championing and fighting for the name for more than 20 years. And everything that we have here in the United States is because of that process. So the team here is something that feels very much the same, and is in your honor. So
So to we finish the conversation here, that was great. I was hearing everything as I said, but I know I want to know something, and I guess every instructor and Professor that's here watching us want to know what a professor or instructor need to be a good one in your vision, Professor Rod.
What does an instructor need to be a good instructor?
Yeah, yeah. I know it's
Uh,
long, but what could you advise? Yeah, what
yeah,
could you
for sure.
suggest advice?
Uh, you'll have to care. You have to have care. You have to have something in your heart that you're willing to give to others. You have to care about other people. You have to care about something more than just yourself. Um, I think that you have to truly care about people and other people's successes, other people's opportunities, other people's lives. It's not just an individual thing. That's what has brought me the most. That's what's brought me the most fulfillment as an instructor, as a coach. Fulfillment meaning what makes my heart happy, what makes my heart full, is that I care about people. I care about people, what happens to people, and I care about their successes.
It's not just about the money.
Yeah. In fact, it has very little to do with that. It's a necessity, it's a consequence of the work, but it's not the reason for the work. It's not the reason for
Excellent,
what I do.
excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Always a great time to see you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, grandfather. Thank you very much, everybody. We
Thank
see
you. Thank
you
you.
next week at Behring Dynasty.
Thank you
Oops.
all.